If you're a Nigerian doctor, there is no way the thought of jackparing has not crossed your mind. The thought of practicing medicine outside the shores of the country of Nigeria. And so, in the spirit of Japa, I brought a guest to feature in our video today. This is the first time I'm actually doing this kind of video where I'm featuring somebody. So hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Peter. Some of my friends call me Dr. Piru. I'm a medical doctor and content creator currently working in Nigeria. And today I'm going to be featuring somebody that is very dear to me. He's my friend, my mentor, my role model. In fact, he was my roommate while we were in the university. And in fact, he was an inspiration to my medical career because of him I joined the quiz team in back in the university, the faculty quiz team, and he's an encyclopedia of knowledge. Like Shola is really really vast. So Shola is actually working outside the country. He's working in the UK. So most of us want to practice outside the country for the experience and then for the adventure of it all. And so in that spirit of Jackba, I wanted to bring a guest, someone who can actually talk to us from experience, not in theory, not in hearsay, someone that will be telling us in first hand experience what it is like to actually work outside the country. So I'm not even going to say so much again. I'll just bring him up now so that he can actually speak to us directly. He's going to be speaking to us on four questions I asked him, and the four questions were simply this: when did you make the decision to practice in the UK? How long from your decision to your first day at work outside the country? And then what is your experience like, the difficulties and the challenges he had while he was moving from Nigeria to practice in the UK? And then lastly, if there are any things he has to say to us for those of us that may have aspirations to practice outside Nigeria. So I'm just going to let him talk directly henceforth. Also, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. The subscriptions are very very encouraging, especially for young YouTubers like myself.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Adeshina Olushola David. I work for Spire Postmortem Hospital, and I'm a UK doctor. Yeah, so I've been asked by Peter to do this video for his YouTube page, and so the first question was, what time did it take for me to make a decision to move to the UK? The time between the decision making and the time between when I arrived here. So my UK journey, I think, started from med school. Yeah, that was when I actually made the decision to move to the UK. Yes, I've always been Team Japa. Yeah, I never really wanted to stay in Nigeria for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it has never been on my mind that I was going to stay past. I knew I was not going to have my residency in Nigeria, anyways. So yeah, so I think 400 level or so, I created a WhatsApp page for those of my classmates that I know that wanted to move out of the country after med school. Yeah, I was that enthusiastic about leaving the country and moving to the UK or anywhere else, not Nigeria. I just didn't want to stay in Nigeria. So yes, my journey started right from med school, probably 400 level. That was when I started becoming more serious about it, trying to find out information, how I could relocate. Like I said, I made a WhatsApp for myself and my classmates that I knew had the ambition to move out of the country, and by God's grace, many of us are here already. So yeah, that was how my journey started, and eventually, my 400 level was 2014, yeah, and I moved to the UK. I started working in the UK October 2020, so 6 years in the making. So yes, that's about that for how long it took between my decision making and me starting to work in the UK. So next, I'm going to describe how my journey has been, how my journey was actually. So house job, I had still not done anything yet. As at house job, I had not taken any step. I was still gathering information, getting in touch with people who have moved out of the country anyways. So during my second posting in house job, my surgery posting, I met one I resumed the unit. One of my registrars then in the unit just actually landed from the UK. He just came back after having his PLAB 2 exams done, so it was a perfect. I resumed the day before he came back to work, resumed back to work from his leave. I think he went on leave and then went for the exam. And of course, news flies around, gists. So of course, you definitely hear that this person just came back from London or something. So yeah, I went to meet him and then asked him about how the journey has been and what to do, what not to do, and then he was kind of like my mentor on the journey. Anyways, I had many mentors, but he was one of them, one of the major players. So yeah, he told me what to do. I had to get my international passport, as I had not gotten it. I had to get my international passport and then take one of the English language exams. So well, back then in 2017, yes, it was 2017 when I was doing my house job. Back then, it was only IELTS that was readily available for people to write. OET was done in Dubai and outside the country, it wasn't done in Nigeria anyways. So I was told to either write IELTS, the UKVI, or the other one. I can't remember the name of the other one. Yeah, and then yes, especially to do the UKVI then, because it was you actually needed it to relocate. Unlike now that you can do both the British Council and I can't remember the second type. Now you could use both to relocate now. Before, if you had written the other type, you needed to still write UKVI again when you're about to relocate. So he told me to do the UKVI. He wanted me to write it during my house job, but then I knew I wasn't up for it yet. I wanted to finish my house job and then dedicate full time to writing the IELTS exam, because I've had many stories that touch. I don't want my case to be like that. Of course, I know many of you have had stories of people who have written IELTS several times without passing. I didn't want my story to be like that. I don't want to fail the exam. I didn't want to be writing it more than once. So I had to wait till I finish house job. At a point, I started hiding from him because I know he was always going to ask me, "Oh, Shola, when are you going to write this exam?" So I got my passport. Immediately he told me to get my passport. I got my passport and it was ready. And then I started preparing for my exam. In a way, I started preparing for my IELTS, but not seriously. Yes, because my next posting was very, very tough. It was, of course, you know how a house job can be. It was very tough. I was in a very, very very, very tough unit where time was there was no time to read. There was really no time to read. Yeah, so my advice to you is don't be pressured by. Yes, there were some of my other colleagues, house officers then, that actually wrote IELTS during the house job, but then they were in different units, different postings that were less busy, like not like mine. So everyone's journey is different. Don't rush. Don't push yourself to don't push yourself to the extreme trying to catch up with anybody. You don't have a mate. Yeah, you don't have a mate. Everybody's journey is different. So just walk with your own timeline, and at the end of the day, you get there. In fact, I can actually say some of the people that even wrote IELTS before me, I started working here in the UK, moved months even before them. So yeah, everyone's journey is different. So back to the gist. I finished my house job and then I think I finished March ending. I wrote my IELTS June 30 and July 1. Yes, so in between that period, I was actually only reading for the IELTS exam because, like I said, I didn't want to fail it. I don't want any stories. I just wanted to give it my all. So I was preparing for the IELTS. I actually registered in the state library where I was, and I was preparing alongside one of my classmates too that wanted to move. So yeah, both of us were preparing together, and we didn't use any tutors. We gathered materials from people we know who have passed it, and then we went for it, and we both passed. Yes, so well, I was doing some locums, like night shifts, but like maybe 2 or 3 times a week during that period, just to get some little change into my pocket. But I was fully dedicated to the exam, and I knew I was about going for my NYSC, so I was not really pressured into doing anything extraordinary. So yes, I passed my IELTS exam, and then immediately I registered for my PLAB 1. My PLAB 1 was in November, I think November 1st, 2018, if I remember very correctly. Yes, and back then also, PLAB was only written twice in Nigeria, March and November. Now it's 4 times. You guys are lucky. Well, in a way, because COVID has scattered everything. Now it's, yeah. So, yeah, between July when I wrote the IELTS, and then November, of course, I was preparing for my PLAB 1. There's a Telegram page where you can join, where most Nigerian doctors pass through. You can join that page for preparing for PLAB 1. All the materials you need are there. And then these days also, I know you have to pay for subscription services like Plabable and the likes. Yes, just find out from people around, people who have just taken the step, find out how they did it, find out what they did to pass. The things are changing, questions are changing in a way. Yes, situations are changing. COVID has changed a lot of things. So just find out what the people who have just passed have done. 1 or 2 or 3 people can give you advice on how to go about preparation. So luckily for me, I had a good PPA where I was doing my NYSC in Bayelsa. It was chilling work. So I really had time to dedicate into preparing for my exam. So anyone in the NYSC journey, or I don't know, whatever stage you are, maybe it's house job, maybe it's NYSC, just make sure you give it your all. Make sure you create enough time to prepare for your exams, because you don't want to fail. Trust me, you don't want to fail. It's very discouraging. I've had people who failed, and it's tough really. So yeah, and then yes, I passed my PLAB 1. I wrote it in Lagos. I passed it November 2018, and then I didn't take my PLAB 2 until until October. I think, yes, I didn't take my PLAB 2. Sorry, no, it was November. I didn't take my PLAB 2 until like 12 months later. That's, well, even more than 12 months. I took my PLAB 2 on November 27, 2019. Yes. So the reason why is because PLAB 2 has two major phases: the visa phase and the exam itself. So the visa now, yeah, that is a very big deal for most of us Nigerians. As you know, Nigerians migrating to other countries, it's not easy. It's not easy. I don't know, somehow we have a bad reputation everywhere we go for whatever reason. Well, I don't know. We are trying to change that, but then, yeah, things can be difficult. Yeah. So you have to apply for visa, and then you have to prepare for your exams. So for the visa, there are many things you have to take into consideration, but the most important thing is actually finances. So to apply for visa, the UK government actually wants to see that you have enough money in your account to sustain you for the period you'll be spending in their country. They don't want you to, well, disappear like the way many people do. Just come to the country and then go offline or off the grid. They don't want that. They want to see that you have enough money for the time you are going to spend in the country. So you probably say you are coming for the exam, you spend 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever amount of time. You are going to like create a budget and say, okay, this is how much I'm going to spend in my 2 week stay, 3 week stay here in the country. They want to see that you have like 3 times that amount of money inside your account. So, and well, there are other things too anyways, but it's going to be more, I think there are other things other things to consider. But then, like I said, the major thing is finances. Make sure you have the right amount of money in your account. They want to see that your account is clean from a from a what would I put it now? From a clean source, a clean source of income. Yes, a clean source of income. A stable, clean source of income. And yeah, there are other things. There are many other things to consider, but I think it's best to address that stage of visa application when you get there. So, or just before you write Plap 1, it's best to just ask for advice from people. So, because there are many things that comes to play when applying for visa. And then the Plap 2 exam itself also. I know things are changing. I think the UK is about changing to UKMLE, so I can't really say what the future holds with regards to that. But for Plap 2 exam, things have changed also a bit from my time because of COVID. There's less contact with patients, and it's more of telephone calls or kind of indirect communication with patients these days, according to what I had. So yes, for Plap 2 also, there are WhatsApp groups that are created from the Nigerian Telegram Plap 1 page. The people, they are very amazing people. So they would once you've passed, you just say you've passed on the page. They'll create WhatsApp group for you guys, and then you can prepare very well for your Plap 2. Apart from that, there are also academies. There's many academies. I don't want to be advertising for people, but there are Nigerian run academies, and there's also some academies run by other foreign nationals here in the UK and even back in Nigeria. I attended one of the ones run by a foreign guy, but then it was in Lagos. So, and the guy was a very, very awesome, wonderful teacher. Yes, he can be tough, but he actually does his job well. He gives you the stuff, and then of course you would have the confidence to go into the exam and pass. So, well, I failed most of my mocks anyways. It was scary, but yeah, the thing is, the mocks are actually tougher than the exam itself. So, well, I passed my Plap 2 exam. Plap 2 exam, and yeah, yes, I passed my Plap 2 exam. The result came out sometime in December 20, just before Christmas. So Christmas was lit. That year. That's 2019 Christmas. It was very lit. Then 2020 came. COVID struck. Job application. Everything was okay. So for job application, the way it is don't be discouraged when you get to that stage. It's like that for most people. Job application can take a very long time. It can take a very long time for you to get a job. So for me, after my Plap 2 exam, I had to pay debts. The debts I was owing, I had to pay all the debts I was owing to people. I borrowed lots of money, so I couldn't do my GMC registration. You have to register with the GMC. Couldn't do my GMC registration until March. So when I did it, I started applying for jobs, and there was little to no response because most of the HRs that were supposed to respond to those emails, some were isolating at home due to COVID, and yeah, people were working from home. Little to no response, and then the ones that comes, you keep on seeing rejection mails. So it was kind of depressing. It was very depressing. You just keep on saying, I'm sorry, unfortunately you didn't make the list, unfortunately this, unfortunately that. So but then going online, I could see that many people actually pass through the same thing. It takes about an average of 6 months for people to actually get a job from when they passed. Some people even, yeah, it takes it some people are lucky, they get their job quite early, but yeah, on the average it takes about 6 months for IMGs, that's international medical graduates, graduates to get their jobs in the UK after passing Plap 2. So even at a point, some of my friends that we wrote almost at the same time, they were even getting interviews, even though of course they weren't selected after the interview process. I was not getting interviews. I was not also making any headway with regards to the job application. So of course I had to go back to all my mentors, how to re-strategize. I had to repackage my CV, yeah, and then I did that, and I think I did 2 or 3 interviews, and well, of course I'm here now. That means I was eventually successful. Yes, so there are actually 2 major options. You can work with private hospitals like I am doing, or you can work with the NHS. So yes, the NHS is a bit slow, like I said, because it's many of the governments, well, it's government run, and like I said, there was COVID and things are improving now, so it should be better. There was COVID, and many of the HRs that were supposed to respond to the mails were all at home self-isolating and all that, so it was very difficult for many people to get into the NHS back then. Most of us actually got private hospital jobs. So I'm still where I am, in the private hospital. I've been there for about 14 months now, and yeah, I love where I'm working. I'm enjoying my work, but eventually I have to move on. Yeah, I have to move on. So life is all about change anyways. So yeah, I want to go into training, residency training. So yes, you can apply to private hospitals, you can also apply to the NHS. Don't limit yourself. You could start with a private and then switch later on. You could start with NHS and switch to private if that's what you want. So they all comes with their it all comes with they all come with pros and cons anyways. So there are pros and cons to working with private hospitals or working with the NHS, and there are also different private agencies. There's the NES, there's RMO International, there's Cape Medicals. Yes, I think, can't remember the others, but yeah. So that's that. And yes, I got a job with NES at Spire Portsmouth Hospital, and that's where I am right now. I've been here for 14 months. Of course, I won't be here for 14 months if I'm not enjoying the work. So yeah, my experience so far, yeah, it's been nice. It's been a nice one. So that's that. So the next question says, most challenging part of the process. Well, for me, the most challenging part of the process is or was my PLAB 2 journey. Yes, my PLAB 2 journey. I know many people say IELTS is the rate limiting factor. Many people actually feel IELTS. Truly, that's probably some people's most challenging aspect. But my PLAB 2 journey was my most challenging aspect, because I faced a lot of challenges financially. Like I said, finance is a very big deal when you are preparing for your PLAB 2. You have to gather money, and I know it's probably a bit tougher now because of Naira. The Naira is depreciating in value every blessed day. Yes, we know, because we are sending money home. As you know, one of the major sources of income for Nigeria is the money people send back home. Yeah. So yes, well, that aside, it's a very big deal, because you, like I said, you need enough funds to apply for visa. Without that, the UK government won't give you the visa, even if you submit all evidences that you are actually taking the exam, and they know you are taking the exam. But if you don't have enough money, you would not get that visa. So that was what happened to me. My first visa application was rejected because I couldn't get enough money. So there are ways around it. Like I said, you can use sponsors. So sponsors are people that will kind of like will sponsor you, or sponsor an aspect of the journey, say your accommodation, your travel, or your feeding, or even the whole of the journey. So, and usually the UK government prefers people that are probably related to you by blood, and then you must be able to prove the relationship between you and your sponsor. So yes, those are the ways around it. So for me, it was my visa application journey was very, very tough, and eventually I got it. I had a sponsor. I reapplied with a sponsor and got my visa like 2 or 3 weeks to my exam. So yeah, that was my most challenging aspect of the journey. Probably the second most challenging aspect was the job application. I told you how long it took for me to. That was it. I passed my exam. I wrote the exam in November. I didn't start working until October 2020 because of the various challenges I mentioned earlier around COVID, applying for jobs, keep getting rejections and all that. So yeah, that's it. Next question says experience so far. My experience so far, to the well, to the glory of God, it's been mostly positive experiences. Yeah, there have been some challenges like yeah, life is not smooth. It's a journey full of ups and downs. So yeah, but my experience so far has been very very nice, and yeah, I thank God for where I am right now. My place of work, they were very welcoming. As at 10, I was the only, no, not the only, I was the second black person in the hospital. The hospital was full of white people. But then I am somebody that I don't believe in tribalism or racism or anything. So I believe there are good and bad people everywhere, and that's been my experience so far. They were very very welcoming, very friendly. They were quick to show me around, made things easy for me. My colleague, I had a Pakistani colleague, a doctor who I shadowed during my first week at work, and he was very nice, very friendly, made me feel welcome, helped me to settle down, showed me things I needed, how to do things, and he was always ready to listen to me whenever I have any issues. So it's been positive so far. My colleagues, the nurses, the physiotherapists, the pharmacists, every other person working in the hospital, they've all been very wonderful to me, and that's why I've been there for 14 months now and still enjoying my time there. So yeah, my experience so far has been very positive. Of course, coming into a new country, you don't have much support system. Your family is back home, friends, most of your friends are back home. It can feel lonely at times, but then yeah, you just have to take it as it comes, chin up, smile, and enjoy the moment. But of course, things have improved since then. I've had many classmates and friends move over here, so it's better now. And one of my friends even lives just 2 streets away from me now, so we can easily see. Yeah, so things are much more better now. It's yeah, but then like I said, it can be quite lonely here. It can be quite lonely here. So thank God for video calls these days. I wonder how people back then in those days survived writing letters and all that. So yeah, it's been a success story. My moving here, I don't have any regrets whatsoever moving into this country. So that's been my experience so far. It's been positive, all positive. Any last words? That's the next thing. So last words. My advice would be that you should yes, know what you want, and go for it. Know what you want, decide what you want as early as you can. Anyways, like I said, life is not is we all know life is not actually a sprint, it's a marathon, and everyone has different journeys. We all have different journeys, we all have different roles to play in life, and we all have different routes to pass through in life. So decide what you want. If you want to stay in Nigeria, fine, there's no problem. Just make sure you enjoy your time in Nigeria, make sure you achieve as much as possible. Yeah, but if you want to come to the UK, also try to start the journey as quickly as you can. Yeah, like I said, I've known since med school that I wanted to move out of the country, and eventually I did. But then some people don't decide until after house job. Well, of course, house job opens your eyes to many things. Practicing as a doctor in the Nigerian healthcare system is different from passing through it as a medical student. You would see many things in details once you start working as a doctor, or once you start working in the Nigerian healthcare system. You would see a lot of flaws and, well, the good side also. Yes, so and that's when some people make their decisions. So my advice is make your decision as early as possible. If you want to stay, fine, start writing your primaries or whatever you want to do. There are other, it's not compulsory you actually become a resident or a consultant in whatever specialty. But then if you want to move out of the country, start now. Start, you can, yes. Most of the exams actually have 2 years expiry date. So but then once you know you are ready to take the journey, you must actually have that 2 years time frame within which to complete the whole of the journey. That's from the IELTS to the PLAB 1, I mean to the PLAB stage. So get materials, get resources, get mentors who are ahead of you. It's not compulsory the person should have finished all the journey. Yes, it could just be someone who has started and is ahead of you, maybe at the IELTS stage or the PLAB 1 stage. That kind of person could be your mentor. So get a mentor and then let someone guide you along the process. So run your race with your own timing. Don't copy others. Don't be in a haste. Don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. You will all get there. The sky is very big, it's wide. Yes, so there's space for everybody. The UK is not filled up. They still need people. I still have a voicemail from one of the agents that was calling me yesterday. I'm even here to listen to it because yes, he wanted me to come and cover for local jobs. So there are spaces everywhere. Mails. Eventually, when you get here, you see that yes, they still need lots of hands. So don't be in too much of a rush. Don't be in a hurry. There's space here. The UK is not filled up yet. We still need doctors to come and help us. So yeah. So my advice is run your own race at your own pace. But then don't be slack also. If you know you want to come here, start the journey now. I think that's all. Thank you so much.
All right, so you guys have heard from Dr. Shola exactly. I'm not going to summarize the points. If you want to listen again, please go all over and listen. If you enjoyed this video, share with your friends, like and subscribe to this channel. Once again, I want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Shola for actually featuring on this channel and sharing his experience. Experience, they say, is the best teacher, but it doesn't have to be your experience. It can be secondhand experience, like Shola just, gave us a few moments ago. So, like I promised earlier in the year, our airside bedside is going to start. Now, what we're going to be doing, what we experience by the bedside, and we're going to be doing it here online. So we're going to feature internal medicine, pediatrics, surgery, and then obstetrics and gynecology right here on this channel. And a lot of those videos will start coming up, later in the month of February. So please do subscribe to this channel. And also, if you're a medical student, transiting from preclinicals to clinicals or clinicals to medical practice, then do subscribe to this channel. There's a lot of content that will be coming your way. This video is going to be a first in a series of interviews with doctors working outside Nigeria. We're going to feature doctors working in various parts of the world to share their experiences with us, what it actually is and what it entails to practice medicine outside the country, talking of language barrier, adaptation and things like that. So please do subscribe to this channel and see you on the other side. Peace.